Have you ever wondered what life is like for an adult with autism? Hello, my name is Andres Diaz, and today I'll be talking about a scholarly article presentation about the outcomes of real-world social interaction for autistic adults paired with autistic compared to typically developing partners. There have been many studies done on the behaviors of autistic individuals. It is well documented that autistic people have trouble communicating with others, but there is a new study that shows it is each situation that needs to be examined. In social identity theory, we all see ourselves as a member of a certain society or group. Many of us have more than one group. You can be a Catholic or a student, you can be a singer and a softball player, or you can be an autistic baseball fan like me. For autistic people, we are sometimes defined by our odd behaviors and lack of social interaction. But there is a new study that shows that it is sometimes situations that will define our behaviors. The authors of this article are Carrie Ann Morrison, Kylie D. Bravender, Desiree Jones, Daniel Faso, Robert Ackerman, and Noah Sasser. The authors talk about a study between autistic adults and neurologically typical adults. The study shows the difference in social communication and interaction between them. It also shows the difference in first impressions and the quality of the interaction. The authors wanted to see the interactions and not just isolated behaviors of autistic adults. They put together a simple experiment to study these interactions. A group of about 115 participants were separated into three different partnerships. There were neurotypical partnerships, autistic partnerships, and neurotypical autistic partnerships. More than half of the participants were autistic adults. The partners were given 5 minutes to have a conversation and get to know each other. After the conversations, each participant was given a series of questions to assess the quality of their conversations and the first impression of their partners. What the researchers found was that both neurotypical and autistic individuals both viewed autistic individuals less favorably than their neurotypical peers. Neurotypicals also wanted to have future interactions with neurotypical adults over autistic adults. When studying the autistic participants, however, they preferred to have future interactions with other autistic individuals. The autistic individuals also reported feeling closer to their partners and disclosed more personal information to their autistic peers as well. When autistic individuals have more common ground, the quality of communication is just as good as neurotypical individuals. These findings suggest that social interaction difficulties in autism are not an absolute characteristic of the individual, but a relational characteristic. Autistic individuals aren't necessarily bad communicators, they just need to communicate with the right individual about the right subject. I can relate to this because when I have a common interest with someone, I have better conversations with them. For example, when I was a baseball manager in high school, I was able to make friends because we had a common interest in baseball. Now, in conclusion, I think we can all learn from this study. As communicators, we need to recognize that the difference between autistic people and typically developing adults may be more situational than we think. Our social identity may include our social group, but we are not defined by just behaviors. We all need to have common interests in order to have a quality conversation. The same is true for autistic and neurotypical adults. We all need to come together and bring autistic conversations into the picture. Autistic and neurotypical adults can achieve greatness when they engage in talking with one another. This will continue to the world of autistic and neurological adults for many more generations to come. That's it.